Yo, yo, yo. Welcome. Turn this one on too. Yeah, man. We in Toronto. You feel me? Man, what a crazy trip. Uh, you know, it's crazy because in just like a full day, we had like what? We came in this morning. We left yesterday and then came to Toronto by like the morning, like one or so. you know, and it was just like we checked out a couple of spots. We checked out, 81 Bond Street, uh, where Drake had the ice blocks. You know what I mean? Man's done created an ice block challenge. I see the internet going crazy now with memes, and it's an awesome time. I'm not gonna lie. Like for the fans, for the haters, for the non-believers, for the achievers, the dreamers, like the content creators, the streamers. Um, shit's just been lit for all of us. You know what I'm saying? And you know, finding cool, unique, niche ways to make it count. You know what I'm saying? Um, we came back to the pad. Where were we at, babe? The Best Western. We at the Best Western. I know Drake got, crazy standards about hotels that he preferred to not be at or some shit like that. You'll hear him, we saw the CN Tower today right by the Intercontinental, you know what I mean? Which I'm sure, he had a line about in one of his previous records. But nah man, shout outs to Toronto, shout outs to Canada, big love to y'all. You feel me? Like weirdly enough, the hospitality that I've seen alone just throughout the day, whether it was in traffic or some people were a bit guarded and to themselves, but I mean, that's the world we live in. We live in interesting times. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like, I would love to come back, create more content, have more time to do certain things. Um, shoot, it's easy to just, you know, chill in the hotel, not really go out anywhere and just coast, but it's like, when you spend your hard-earned money, you know what I'm saying? Whether you in a relationship or you dolly, you want to make the most out of it. You feel me? So, you know, we ended up going to a couple of spots. Oh shit, the castle spot might be pretty lit, but like, not that the area was blocked off because we could hop over the stones if we had to. But like, damn, you think it's kind of too late for that? I mean, you don't know. We went to some castle out here, man. That shit was dope. And of course, tourist attraction spots is always gonna have, your fair share of people trying to gather and, talk and whatever. So we did it in passing, but we also went to and I know I'm all over the place, like I probably didn't even give this a proper introduction. My name's Blane Bent for the new viewers watching, aka Bravo Picasso. I'm an artist, that makes music. I'm a musician. Um, and uh, I'm enjoying myself, creating the content, living my life, capturing it. In moments like these, I completely understand now. why the meta glasses are very important as like a clutch piece of gear to have. You know, I've been holding off on it because I've been trying to get other things in motion, but um, in the moments where I could just be hands free and capture things, um, I mean, it's priceless already from the naked eye. So to share that with you guys would have been crazy. You know, I've been creating a lot of content, man. I've been creating a lot of visual content. Follow me on Instagram at Blane Bent. You can find me on all streams at Blane Bent. SoundCloud, YouTube at Blane Bent. I got exclusives on those platforms that are only for that platform, of course, exclusive. Um, and yeah, you know, when you're like 200, 300, 400, probably even, you know, and I got songs that are recorded that didn't see the light of day yet. I got songs, boatloads of songs that, you know, I've wrote but didn't, you know, put it together, or maybe I just went to the next project. Um and so needless to say, you know, there's a lot of material in writing and creating it. And what's interesting about, you know, being 33 is that, you know, I'm finding myself pivoting not only from certain relationships, but from just a creative standpoint as well. You know, um, it's it's been a change of the guards, and it's healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's super healthy to just keep things fresh, interesting, um, and just finding new ways to execute, right? Finding new ways to go about, you know, making your art and expressing yourself and sharing that with the world. And, you know, I might be considered a jack of all trades, a master, I would say, in at least making music and writing of it. Even though, you know, there's still much more to learn, I'm just saying that in the aspect of where I put my skill points. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of my skill points in the enhancement of music, song creation, and so forth. And so to kind of, you know, uh, live my life and create new experience, um, I'm now venturing in certain avenues like, you know, videography and editing, and even though it's on the smaller scale, you know, I haven't quite you know, I had bought a camera a while ago, and then, you know, returned it because of some problematic things with the features on certain things. And but even then, man, the phone, you know, the phone is king. The phone is king. Like, you know, no matter what your setup is, you know, I got lights behind an iPhone 17. That's my girl's right now. I got the 14 right here. You know, for those that you know, are asking like, how do we get, you know, the quality to look a certain way? That's the setup. You know what I'm saying? That's the setup. Ta-da. Now, what you do with the setup once you know, throw it into some programs where you can edit and enhance from there, that's, you know, up to you and your skill set. And I've been, you know, I've been just testing things out. You know, I've been getting faster at certain things that I like with just repetition, you know. And I've been having fun, which is, I would say, very important, because, you know, you're going to need to feel like you're accomplishing something when you're doing such a monotonous task, you know. And I'm even editing while I'm at work, and then saving things in the drafts, and then re-editing because I found a mistake. And it's a whole process with putting all of this together for you guys, and it might seem quick and out in a flash, but a lot of this is planned and in seasoned in preparation. You know what I'm saying? And I do have some friends that also help assist me with certain things. So that kind of lightens the load, but uh, for the most part, a lot of this is on me, whether it's to schedule, orchestrate, or just get to the nitty gritty. I need it out, so I got to do it and put it out. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, I guess you can kind of call this like a vlog for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I said, follow me, subscribe to me at Blane. Leave something in the comment section, like it up. You feel me? Definitely helps with the algorithm. Remember, the things you watch is what you'll see more of. So don't let people trick you out of thinking that, oh, I just didn't see it. It's probably right because they probably trying their best to never interact with you. So that way the algorithm will never show you their shit. But even then, right, even though it's like that, there are still things or people out there that I don't interact with as much, that I still see. And so if I happen to be that slight percentage for you, hopefully, you're entertained and you like what I'm saying or how it's presented or, whatever draws your interest, man. We're growing this thing from the bottom, you know, and it's a process. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, man. We it's about like what 12:41 right now in the AM. So it's like, you know, we like I said, we did a lot. You know, um, I plan to put out some of the Torontonian content real soon. Um, right now we got a few reaction videos from either open mics with Math Hoffa. Shout outs to Math. We got reaction videos to certain artists that I've worked with, uh, whether it was just um, being in open mics or being in ciphers, or maybe even I've probably had a track with a few people that I've reacted to. You should definitely check out my page and see what they about. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically trying to spider web everything and everyone together to kind of just be a part of this community that just brings awareness to what we do. What I do is very thoughtful. Um, you know, uh, what I've done, people probably think, you know, people are asking me to do the react videos and stuff like that, and I'm really not. Like I'm picking and choosing. Like I said, if I have a rapport with you, if I see something current, if it's something I like, something I tapped in with, or even if someone hollered at me and was like, "Yo, check this out," and then I find the gem for self, I'm taking the initiative to creating that pathway for us to link, and I'm sure down the line as the popularity of what I'm doing grows and as the demand grows, then I can put a price on it. Um, and so far I've actually have been for certain folk. So let's just say, for the people that I'm familiar with, you guys um actually get handpicked first, and I'm able to test things out. I'm able to sharpen my blade and my craft on putting it together, packaging it, and having it ready to release for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And you know, whether I'm theatrical or whatever like that, you know, that's content that can big you up from one artist to another. Not many people or artists would do that. I would say artists. Not many artists would, you know, not make it about them. Even though you're watching me be entertained by someone else or by something else, uh, it's still me using my light to big up whatever you guys got going on. You know, I might subtly have my music in the background or beats that I've created, using Suno, of course. You know, shout outs to August Waters, my guy that put me on to that. We've been going ham on just creating mad beats. And yeah, you know, I'm getting to a point where, you know, I'm really gonna take it to another level. You know what I'm saying? And um, Toronto, you know, me and my girl, we were very spontaneous with this type of move, you know, and I really can't tell you how many years went by of me not personally taking a vacation for self. You know what I'm saying? I'm always working. I'm always having either multiple jobs or I'm trying to buy equipment, buy marketing, you know, maybe get clothes for the marketing or the music video. Like my whole life as an artist, as a musician, has been literally damn near just dedicated to my music, my craft, and putting that out there. And now that I'm 200 plus songs publicly out there, right? And now that I do got some promo on those songs, and um you know, again, the Math Hoffa, people like him and others online that I've seen do music reactions, to, you know, people that submit their songs or people that create tournaments, and you know, you enter the tournament whether it got prize money in it or not. Usually for me, um I never really, I'm usually like, if it's prize money, it's probably not that much money. From the 3, 4 tournaments I've been in, probably wasn't much money, which is fine because you're looking at exposure. But usually I go in debt, not like in a way where it's like, you know, I'm struggling in life, but I'm saying like whatever I would have got paid from the show or the tournament, I've already put, you know, probably the down payment on the artwork. You know what I'm saying? Of that. I probably, and then, you know, to record is another set of money. To you know, find the beat is another set of money. You know, that's already past some of the tournaments' money. Other tournaments that had, you know, big money obviously came with, you know, I don't want to say, you know, anything negative really, but politics as usual. You know, we'll just keep it at that. Politics as usual. And I ended up having to learn that, you know, I can't take it personal. You know, uh, I pulled up, I created content, and now it's up to me to look at, you know, what I've made, or what I've entered, and be like, all right, well, how can I flip this? And that's what I really want to talk to you guys today, is that you know, I got a friend of mine, you know, that I wish he was here with me, you know, to pull up with us, but it's all good next time. But he was like, you know, oh my God, like, you really gonna go to Toronto to watch ice melt, you know, with the whole Drake situation. And you know, yeah, we did, you know, because when I got here, something told me, you know, to just don't just go to bed, go to sleep, the moment you land, like, go downtown, see it for yourself, and try to make some content, right? Because I already knew that, you know, one of the streamer guys found the ice pouch that had the release date, and so the whole world and everything on the internet is on fire with, that happening and him getting paid, and being at the Drake mansion, and man, like, whether people say it's staged or not, it's A1 marketing. And if it wasn't, man, who couldn't use 50 bands or however much money it was in Canadian, right? So it's like it's like finding clever ways to market your product, right? Getting people interactive and involved with your product to then basically generate not only the anticipation, but you now have an audience that is like salivating damn near for the album to drop. And whether whether it was, new terminology, mid, you know what I'm saying, whether it was mid or whatever, right? Like, the fact that you got everybody talking about it, you got the mayor of Canada talking about it, like, which is a huge look, for Drake, because they know that, he reps Canada, he reps the city Toronto, and it's like to have your country as your support system as a big artist, you know, um, back your project. I mean, it's like it's not even gonna miss. Even if the tracks were subpar, like, the numbers in the audience won't allow it to not flourish. And so I'm not saying that as a downer, because I rock with Drake, and you know, uh, for all of those folks that you know was on the bandwagon with Kendrick, and what he did in 2024. I was one of the very few artists that backed up Drake. You know what I'm saying? Again, like, finding niche ways to create a storyline or a pathway, and the challenge is set super high at that time, because that was a war where nobody wanted to be around the boy or the guy that um, has gave us soundtracks to our lives for over 15 plus years, like a decadent run. Like, you don't know too many artists that can live and last that long, reinventing themselves album after album, song after song. And over the years, people will clown you and hate on you for the ideas you have, and when you're able to exploit or express your genius through your craft and through your marketing, it's a masterclass. People really need to shut the fuck up and take notes, um, because for me, for someone that aspires to be in the league and be revered like that, I'm witnessing, not only how the industry will prop you up, but how also that same industry can go against you if you don't play your cards right, or even if you play your cards right. There's just people that are just fucking greedy. There's just people out here that, they're just grimy folks, man. And um, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the way how I came about it, um, with, assisting and freeing the owl from the cage on why the cage bird sings, and taking the two-pot ring with the paint the sky in blood. Then we have both the Falcon and the Crow working together for Falcon Punch. Like, these are tactical moves. You know what I'm saying? These are tactical moves. You gotta have balls to do some shit like that. And then on top of that, we made Circadian Tuxedo, which he already had a song called Circadian Rhythm, which Kendrick said in his song in 616 in LA, that's something about his circadian rhythm and how he's in tune with God and all of that jazz. And so it's like, to combine the circadian, and the reason why the tuxedo is there is because Kendrick wore the Canadian tuxedo to win his 5 Grammys or whatever the amount was, right? Which, is an impressive feat. To combine those elements and put it back out, and it be like damn near a 9-minute song of just raps and bars with 4 songs, 4 beats in one. I mean, if Drake if Drake was to hear and see that, it would be more than an invoice and an owl chain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be more than that, you know. But it's just because, I see myself in the dude, you know what I'm saying? And when you operate at such a level, where you just remind other people, like, damn, like, I'm nowhere near that. A lot of people take the easy route on hating you instead of learning from you, collaborating with you, and propping you up, so that way when they clap for you, you know what I mean, when it's their turn, you can clap for them, you can return the favor in a genuine way too. I'm not saying just, you know, ride the wave just because everybody else is doing it. You can ride the wave and understand how to ride the wave, so that way you don't drown, you don't wipe out. You know what I mean? And that's all I've been doing, man. It's just like I said, creating content, uh, focusing on a pivot, um, finding alternative ways to get music recorded, um, finding alternative ways to package the music, um, and just having a blast with, just like I said, recording everything. Whether that's the music, the videos. Um, if I could somehow be a one-stop shop, then I make all the bread, and I have more control. You know what I'm saying? Which is very important for aspiring artists. Make sure you control as much as you can, whether it's, exclusive rights to certain beats, or making your own beats, whether that's um, having your files after every studio sesh, um, whether that's, realizing that even when you make videos and you collaborate with people, just making sure that people are properly credited, and that there's a hierarchy of how they get credited. Like, these are simple things for people probably are, of course, already in the game, and they know these things. But for me, there's no shame in my game to ask questions, find out, and then apply. And so, what you're seeing from me right now is me just soaking up game and applying what I know and saucing it up in the process. And, like I said, even though my man's was funny about uh, watching the ice melt, I was able to at least be there, capture the content, you know, um, rhyme over there, even though as it was melting, because the fire hydrant, or the fire truck, they was already like putting that hydro pump on the ice. So I think when I saw another video on Instagram, um, about the city like blocking it off until it's like completely melted down, that's when I was like, damn, like, I'm glad I'm glad, like, I didn't wait, you know. Oh, we'll go to Canada and Toronto, like, 5 6 days, from the point where dude found the release date. Because I mean, what, we were here on the second day, right, babe? We were here on the second day. Like, that's so crazy. They were hydro pumping the ice on the second day. I had to look at the Articuno temple, the Reggie Ice temple, on some, like, yo, like, damn. But I get it though, like, you got You got a pyramid of ice, and as much as it's a moment for the city, people are, getting hurt, probably busting their ass, trying to, get up or come down from it, and they slip, fall, and you don't want lawsuits and mad shit going on. And I mean, I get it, the fireman or the chief of the fire department, you know, he felt like it was just a health risk. It was a safety hazard type of thing. And so, he felt like, let me just do this now, so that way, we could prevent whatever. And, I get it. But that just goes to show you how critical, um, how critical certain moments are. Like, you may think, you have all the time in the world, and then something in the world reminds you you don't have much time at all. And so it's like what separates you from the rest is how you respond to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's literally why I'm here, even just documenting to you guys right now on how I'm responding to it. Again, like I could easily be in bed right now, and I'm not. After this, I'm actually gonna probably go for a swim, because I plan to do that. I'm gonna go for a swim, and then I think I'm gonna come back to the room, put on another fit, and hit the streets. The streets should be quiet because it's about to be, or it's already 1 o'clock. So less traffic. I've already spotted out certain areas that look pretty nice and well lit up that I think I could rap my songs and do my thing. Um, and yeah, man, that's just the level and dedication that I have for this. Uh, what we check out tomorrow at like 11 a.m. So, what is that? I guess a full 2 days in a way. Not really a full 2 days. Like we got today, like a day and a half. Yeah. So we we spent a day and a half in total in Toronto, and we already achieved, uh, you know, moments that'll freeze time forever. It was me and my girl's first time being out the country together. Even though I've been out the country in Jamaica by myself in my past life, in this life, it's the first time being out the country going to Canada together. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, doing things that only Canada has to offer. Um, and even though we check out tomorrow around like 11, um, there was this anime spot that I think got some nice artwork and good food and shit that I want to stop at. Um, where Yeah, that's my GoPro. It probably was already at its limit. Let me see if I could. Oh, it's probably a memory thing. Might have to delete some shit. All right. Word. Let's see. What about this one? Yeah. Yeah, I got some content on here. Plus, I gotta get probably another drive. Yeah, probably gotta get another drive. Well, that's all good. Let me turn this off for a sec. Save some power. All right. Let's see. This is what I'm saying about. I got gadgets and gizmos. I'm ready. If they fall for the baby fillet, and my mermaid at home, she's so sexy. And the coconut castle don't play. That's Thug Cry. Make sure you stream that. Um, yeah, man, where was I? So yeah, the anime spot, I'm thinking maybe they have an area called the Bentway, which, I gotta at least see what it's about because it only has my last name. Apparently, like, I don't know if it's like a skating ring or a skate thing only, roller skate, whatever, but it wouldn't hurt to just find out. And then they do have like a graffiti spot. I think, I was kind of like iffy about going, yesterday, but it might be a thing, because the more content, the better. Um, I don't know when I'll be back out on this side, um, but I like what I see. I love the experience. Like I said, the CN Tower was crazy. I really got a chance to see views from the six. Uh, yeah, like just the rush of being in that elevator going all the way up is crazy, yo. Like the glass that you're on, looking down, and you see like the city is just it's trippy. Like, and it wasn't so much that my heart rate was going crazy or my stomach was like it was more so in my mind. Like in my mind, I was just like, yo, this is nuts, you know. And then they got like some thing where like you can hang off the tower and be like, oh, look at me, I'm hanging from the tower. And it's like, oh, $300, but no way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just can't imagine doing that. Like, even me thinking about that shit is so. My girl says she would do that. I don't even. I love that tingling feeling. I don't even listen. I don't even know. I don't even know. But I tell you what, I could throw down some money for a helicopter ride. I could definitely do that next time. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I like about this part of my life right now is that, not only are we bossed up and, we can decide for ourselves where we want to be, how we want to have fun. Um, with this creative approach of just it's like making me live life more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to like document it and y'all have it as like entertainment, but for me, I was always the dude in the group, even from back then when the cameras weren't the best. Like, I'm talking from the BlackBerry days, you know. Um, Even though the cameras weren't the best, like I was always the guy recording, timeless moments, man. And it's like now as we speed up in the world where the cameras got better and people are making full blown careers out of this, um, it's like, yeah, like on some like Pokemon shit, like I just wanna capture mad moments in my phone, in my Pokédex, you feel me? And make, not only cool moments for y'all, but memories for me, you know. It's gonna be in my digital footprint online and I'll have them. We took pictures. Actually, I didn't even really we didn't really ask for a picture. They kind of just was like, "Yo, come over here, take a photo." I thought it was on some like, if some crazy shit happened, then they at least documented us being there type shit. But next thing you know, when we finally descend from the tower down, and we land right in the gift shop. Like they know how to get you. And don't get me wrong, like, I wanted to cop something, but I just felt like I'm cool on it too. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. I'm like, I already got more than enough, to where it's like a trinket or a hat. I get it, but I feel like shit like that is for like tourists, and even though we're new here, it almost felt like a second home here for me. It didn't really feel like I was foreign to it. It really felt like New York City vibes for me. So um, with 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 a sense of Ithacan, like you know respectability, or it was weird. It was a combination of things. It was a combination of things. You know, but yeah, like you know, as we were going perusing through the gift shop, and then we were like slowly trying to make our way out because I had to find a way to get my microphone. Apparently, I couldn't bring this in. Um, they had like an event, and so the dude asked me if I was a part of the event, then I could bring it. But I ain't really want to lie, man. So I just let them hold it till I got back down, and there's like this desk that got everybody's photos. Again, like as if we asked for it. We didn't even ask for that shit. They just was like, "Yo, come over here." It almost felt like protocol. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think we had a say really. But then, right when they do that, it's like, yo, so for two photos, it's $40. If you want the digital, you know what I'm saying? It's like 45. And it's like, man, like it went from not giving a fuck about the gift shop to being like, damn, like they got our photos though. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, you gonna have to run that. I'm gonna need that. Here's the money. Now we got a digital and a physical, memory. Um, which fine, I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. um I could always buy a Blue Jays hat, online or like at a store where I live. It's not that deep for me. But nah, man, Canada was fire, bro. Canada was fire. I encourage anybody to, if you got some spare time and some spare change, man, see it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? See it for yourself. We went to New Ho King, right? We went to New Ho King, which, uh, you know, I think Kendrick said something about that spot in the song Euphoria, and then Drake responded, probably shortly after with Family Matters being in the video at the New Ho King spot, and you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the spot. You feel me? I was in the spot. You know what I'm saying? In Toronto. You know what I mean? I took pictures. We got food. There was a woman I asked for like not directions, but like help about where to order or how to order because we're new, and she just looked at me like I was an alien or something. But and then the waiter was like, "You want to sit right here?" And I was like, "Nah, like whatever energy she got, I don't want to be nowhere near around that woman and her person." You know what I mean? Like we took the closest to the door. You know what I mean? There was like a mini little booth right by the door. Where we just pay the bill and we out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I played that situation. You know what I'm saying? Cause energy, I'm just big on energy. I didn't say anything too crazy, but she could be, you know, she just could have something going on with her, man. Like, and I didn't really care to read into it or to like correct it. You gotta let people, be where they at. It's not always about challenging things just because we may not come from the same walk of life or path, or we don't see eye to eye or have the same perspective. It's like, yo, like take it with a grain of salt. I don't care anymore. So, and I'm practicing that even more now, with the people I do know, people that I do have relationships with. um so yeah, the New Ho King spot was fire. You know what I'm saying? um what else? I mean, shit, how much time we got on the phone, babe? You could talk.
45.
That's good. 45 minutes. So yeah, well, you know You know what I'm saying? This is content, baby. This is content. You feel me? I'm about to hop in that pool. Um, like I said, Toronto, Canada, love you, salute. Iceman, we waiting on you. I know you're gonna deliver. You know, hopefully, even though I know how the world wronged you, hopefully you don't make it about them on this album. If you do, I get it. I think from if it was me, if I was in that position, definitely a double disc album or go for the triple disc. Meaning, give us the double, then give us like if you're reading this is too late mixtape right after. And I say that because, you're going to have people that are going to want to piggyback off your moment. They already are with the marketing you presented so masterfully. Um, and so, in knowing that if you drop an album and, let's say Kendrick drops an album or a song that's like, whoa, because you dropped something and it's trying to like usurp your moment, um, you counter with a banger or a tape. I think go tape for tape. Shut these niggas up, man. Go tape for tape. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, hit them with the double. I know you're gonna drop like 20 or more pieces on the double. And then for the tape, a calm 10 to 15. You know what I'm saying? Or or you're Drake. Like you could just hit us with another 20 piece. You know what I'm saying? And just I mean with the catalog you already have with like 40 new fucking songs. Um that would shut anybody up. Like it's not even up for debate. I don't care if people be like, oh, he's not like giving us the real him, and oh, like he's not introspective. I don't care about none of that shit. Drop hits, bangers, rap, do whatever you gotta do to just further solidify how icy it can get, you know? Period. I'm just saying what I do. Like if it was up to me, like I'm telling you right now, if it was up to me, I'd drop like 100 songs on their top, and then let all of them shits chart and drown everybody. Like I just take 100 spots, and then when you take 100 spots, then your old catalog come in the fray, and they take the other 100 spots. Like I'd be, bro, the way how they tried to grease you, bro. It would be no forgiveness. Nobody eats unless I say so. If you got a feature with me, that's when you eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's what you want me to do. I'm just saying that's how I would play, But of course, you might not do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, I'm looking for the Sub-Zero on this tape. I'm looking for the fatalities for a couple of salaries on this tape. You know what I'm saying? So, I know you're gonna deliver, man. I never doubted you. You know what I'm saying? I never doubted you. Learned a lot from you. You know what I'm saying? Your city respects you. When I first touched down here, to see the ice temple, you feel me? Uh, there was people already complimenting my Itachi Crocs. And, you know what I'm saying? They was talking about you and in a good way, you know what I'm saying? Like they were just happy to be there. And then this one chick, she I guess like she screamed. I didn't know what she was screaming at. I was looking in a different direction. Apparently she thought, you know, uh I was some famous streamer. I'm thinking the guy that, found the release date, and that was funny, like that was cool too, like we were chopping it up with her, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like I definitely have the aura of somebody that is famous or the potential to be that famous or whatever, but um you know I'm still grinding my way up. And being at the height of the CNN or the CN Tower yesterday, it was just like, yeah, like when you have views looking at your city like that, the level of inspiration and confidence you have once you internalize that is like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we waiting on you, bro. Freeze the world. You feel me? Freeze the world. And so, that's my Canada Toronto journey take. You know what I'm saying? This is the video for that. Um like I said, man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, anything. Like, when was your first time being out of the country, or if you're from Canada, what other spots in Canada I should venture to and capture content and just see what's up, and shit, like I said, you could easily find me on all streams at Blane Bent, BlaneBent, Bravo Picasso, my handle, you know, uh, yeah, I've been doing music for a long time, and um, it's crazy. Like, I had certain key conversations with people in Toronto that I have my CDs, but I think I left them in the car. I should have just had one in my freaking pants pocket or something, and just been like, yo, like, check me out. Not even on some like, yo, pay me $20 or $30. Like, nah, just because the conversation was fluid, you know, uh, and in those moments where I could make a connection, that could be like a piece that I leave behind. So till next time, I'll be quicker in knowing that. Um, but yeah, a salute. You feel me? And stay tuned. I shit crazy.